Okay, I just want to touch on other populations that you have studied, Kathy. I know that one of the other outgrowths or outcomes of your programmatic approach to research development has been your website, which is also a part of the University of Alberta's theory webpage, which is very significant. And also you have developed several different avenues in the use of your instrumentation. Would you just like to speak briefly about that before we wrap up?
Okay. Well, from the breast cancer study that I did for my dissertation, I combined forces with a colleague at the University of Akron who was interested in comfort in persons with urinary incontinence. And we worked a long time in that program of research and are still working with that in the application phase. We adapted the general comfort questionnaire for people with urinary incontinence. And we did the psychometric study, and we've published the results of that. In addition, we adapted the general comfort questionnaire for hospice patients because I was very aware of the natural fit between comfort and hospice. Comfort is in their guidelines for care, and but it was a very young science, and they hadn't measured any of their outcomes. But they said comfort was important, so I again adapted the general comfort questionnaire for this population of hospice patients, did the psychometric study, published that, and I'm using that in current research. Other specialties are also using comfort, and they're adapting the comfort questionnaire for their research setting, and some of those are midwifery, labor and delivery, GYN exams, burn units, peri-anesthesia, to name some. And I kind of serve as a consultant over my web contacts. Graduate students or seasoned researchers who want to use comfort as an outcome will contact me and say, how do you like this instrument? Or how do you like this framework? Or what do you think if I go here? Or what about this research question? And I find that this web format will probably take the place of large conferences where a group of nurses interested in a particular theory come together to talk about dissemination of the theory and application. I think in the 21st century, we don't have as much time to attend to those physical conferences, but the web is an ongoing conference. And I also can link up people who have similar research interests, and they can help each other with a literature review and never meet face to face.
Right.
So that has been extremely helpful.
Where do you think your program is going to go from here? What do you envision in the next 5 years?
Well, I want to focus on either long-term care and or hospice patients, and I would call these frail patients. And what kinds of comfort measures make them more comfortable or facilitate a peaceful death and facilitate institutional outcomes. And I really want to demonstrate the relationship between the health-seeking behaviors and the institutional outcomes.
Now, when you speak about health-seeking behaviors, are you using Rosella Schulfeld's model?
Yes, I am. She developed that concept of health-seeking behaviors, and she said they can be internal, external, or a peaceful death. And the internal behaviors she calls things like healing and physiological balance, and then the external are what nurses can observe happening.
Right.
So that has been an extremely good fit with comfort. And I really viewed those two concepts as being on the same level of abstraction, so that also was very useful.
Great. Well, Kathy, it's time for us to wrap up today. Thank you very much, and I'm sure the students are going to find your program very useful in looking at their own journey and the different paths that they can take. Thank you.
Well, thank you, and good luck with the wonderful program that you've developed.